Welcome to Fierce Encouragement. This is the podcast where we tackle life's struggles with boldness, wisdom, and some practical tools. Now, my name is Mark Walker. I'm a life coach. I'm a meditation instructor. I'm also your guide to navigating the messy middle between where you are and where you want to be. So here at Fierce Encouragement, we blend modern science and timeless wisdom to help you master your own mindset, to cultivate that inner balance in your life, and also to take those courageous steps towards your goals and projects. So whether you're a leader, a new leader, maybe a learner, or just somebody who's ready for some change, well, this is your space for some real talk and some powerful insights and some fierce encouragement to help you live with purpose and confidence. Thanks for being here. Before we begin on today's episode, I just wanted to ask you, now if you're ready to create more clarity and balance and have that mental focus in your life, I would really love to help. I'm a certified heroic coach and a full-time meditation and mindset trainer, and I work with people and leaders who are driven, who want to unlock their potential without burning out. You can visit markwalkercoach.com or check the show notes and apply for a free short clarity call with me to see if my coaching style might be the right fit for you. I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy today's episode, and here we go. Thanks again for spending your valuable time connecting with me and listening to this podcast. I really hope it has value for you. So today's episode is entitled, What If Coaching Doesn't Work for Me? Now, I think you've all heard about coaching, otherwise you might not be here, you might not be listening, maybe you even considered coaching, but then the doubt creeps in. What if this doesn't work for me? Now, I just want to normalize that skepticism, that doubt. It's something that I've had a ton of doubt with. If you talk to my coaches through the last 10 years, I think it's a very common question. And honestly, it's a valid one. And I just want to spend some time today unpacking it together. So I'd like to just preview what coaching is and what it isn't, and how we can shift from doubt to a curiosity and an open heart and kind of maybe considering what it might mean. And I also want to offer a practical tool, one that has really helped me in my tech career, but also relearning how to work, being an entrepreneur, and to really reframe skepticism and focus on outcomes. And that tool is called targeted thinking. But to begin with, I want to talk about the fear behind the objection to coaching. So why do doubts arise? When we talk about coaching, why does doubt pop up? Well, it's a noble fear, to be honest. It's the fear of failure. It's the fear of wasting time or money, maybe confronting some uncomfortable truths about the way we work or the way we're showing up in our relationships. I think doubt often stems from our past experiences that had a lack of clarity about what success might look like for us. And I'd just like to invite you to reframe that skepticism and that doubt. Maybe instead of asking what coaching won't do or how it won't work for us, maybe we could try a new viewpoint. What would success look like if I did X? What would winning or growing feel like if I did this action and connecting with people? And just to share a relatable story, I recently had a coaching client, and I am still working with them. And those first couple sessions were filled with doubt and fear, and you could kind of feel the energy. Their energy was kind of withholding in our first couple sessions. But as they've grown and kind of leaned into coaching, we've had over 10 sessions now. He has shared with me that he feels that his actions are more aligned with his values. He even goes so far as to say in a recent testimonial he shared with me, Mark's encouraged me to embrace small, consistent habits that compound into meaningful change. One of the most impactful moments was when he guided me to visualize my best, most heroic self. Now that exercise stuck with me and it motivates me every day. I've also noticed how much calmer and more mindful I've become both at home and in the workplace. Mark's guidance has truly helped me become a better version of myself. Now, as I share that, I get re-inspired myself, but I think it's a relatable story because he did come in with doubt. He did come in with a hesitation or not really knowing what it is. So again, the first thing we can do is just understand that we have some hesitation and doubt, and I think it's valid. We don't have to let it create or dominate the experience that we're working towards with our coach or somebody who's supporting us like a mentor. It's really good because it helps us get clarity on, number one, who we are, what mindset we're in, and what doesn't work for us, and what success might look like for us. So when we look at that fear behind the objection, I think it's a really powerful moment, and especially when we consider that people have had lots of success with coaching, it's a relatable story. Next, I'd like to just talk about or unpack a little bit about what coaching is and isn't. Now, I've talked about this in previous episodes, but I think it's really important to define this and get really clear. Coaching is a co-creative process. It is not therapy or consulting. Rather, coaching helps you unpack or uncover your insights and set goals and get really clear on what those goals are. And most importantly, it helps you stay accountable to yourself. What does coaching do? Again, it clarifies those priorities. A coach is like a reflection or a mirror that kind of gives you that information back. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable because it pushes us to see our limiting beliefs, but it also can really amplify and increase and grow our strengths and our unique virtues and values that we have in life. What does coaching not do? Well, it isn't a one-size-fits-all solution or a quick fix. Coaching isn't something that you just do and go to the session and it's all done. It isn't that. Coaching requires that you as a client get involved, do your homework, spend that 15, 20 minutes a day working on what you want to be held accountable to, those goals, and most importantly, some of those fundamentals that we call it in our coaching program, eating, moving, sleeping, really celebrating the progress you're making and kind of working from the inside out. I think it's important as a coach to really set that up. I call it a coaching container. We need at the beginning to make sure that the client isn't expecting that they just can show up and I will give them a set of assignments and then everything will be good. I want to go deeper with my clients, to be honest. And another success story that I've had from a client in the past year is a product owner from a technical company. Now, there's someone who came to my coaching sessions and they bought in. They really bought in. They trusted me. They wanted to form a good meditation habit because they had that in the past and they felt how that changed their life, especially kind of that inner life, and settle them down. But they were, after COVID and after the pandemic, they felt their anxiety and that inner pressure ramp up with their family. The relationships were struggling just a little bit, and they felt like they couldn't turn off their mind. Now, they shared after our few sessions together that their meditation just increased, that they felt it was a superpower now and something that they could lean into. And honestly, the biggest thing that they took away wasn't just meditation, but it was their shutting down at the end of the night and really focusing on some journaling practices that helped them to cognitively deload or unstress at the end of the night, letting themselves truly recover when they were off of work. I think that's really important because we need to highlight how transformative results can come through the coaching. It's not just something we show up with a recipe and then we fix the meal and it's all done. It's about exploring and transforming and unpacking and really tuning in to practicing. The next part I'd like to talk about is just to give you some tools on assessing if coaching is right for you. Now, as you think about it, and obviously as we unpack this objection that you're not sure if coaching is right for you, I think some really good questions for reflection before you start coaching or before you kind of buy in and put the money on the table is asking yourself, do I feel stuck or uncertain in any part of my life? Am I willing to explore those deeper patterns and really take some action in my life and take some initiative and learn to solve or at least start to fix some of those things that are uncomfortable? Are you willing to explore your patterns? And ultimately, would I benefit from accountability and encouragement? I think that's a big one. Would I benefit from some accountability and encouragement in my projects and my plans in life? Now, we obviously have mismatches. There's so many coaches out there right now that are selling systems and products, but I think it's really important to know and to understand, even as a coach, that coaching isn't ideal for some people. It isn't ideal for people that are looking for instant fixes or people who are unwilling to engage and do the homework and work the process. Just like a strength training program or a nutrition program, you can't get better if you're not willing to engage the process and work the program. So a quick actionable tip that you might want to consider to assess if coaching is right for you: start by identifying one single area of your life that you want to improve. Coaching often begins with this single spark of clarity and drive and purpose. What's one area of your life you want to improve? Now, one thing I notice with my clients and the people I work with, and even in the communities and the places I've studied and worked in, is that people that are driven to listen to podcasts like this or even consider coaching or consider help is that we can overwhelm ourselves. We probably have a to-do list that's a mile long, and we want all 10 things done or all 20 things done. And to be honest, I deal with that with myself as well. But I think it's crucial just to point out one area of your life. If you were to improve it and get better at it, it would affect the rest of your life. So, of course, I'm thinking about things like dieting and exercise, maybe meditation, or maybe just working on that creative project singularly for a while. But coaching often begins with that single, dedicated movement towards one point of clarity. Moving into the next part, I just wanted to introduce this wonderful tool that helped me a ton a few years back when I was doing a lot of product ownership and tech work. But even past that, thinking about my relationships and thinking about the way I showed up in my exercise and my habit forming. So this tool is called targeted thinking. Now, it comes from the book by Robert Edmonds called The Empowerment Dynamic, The Power of TED. And it is called targeted thinking, and it's about a mindset shift that helps us focus on creating outcomes rather than getting stuck in reacting to problems and kind of feeling overwhelmed. The emphasis that we really want to put a thumbtack in here and kind of point out is we're moving from a problem-focused mindset of what's wrong with me, to a mindset that's more solution-focused, or at least curious. What do I want to create from this? Very powerful coaching question. And it's something that you can sit down with your journal or even open up your audio app and do a recording on. But ask yourself, what's the thing that you want to really focus on and improve? And use the problem that's coming up and ask yourself, what do I want to create? What do I want to create from this? Taking on that perspective can be a very empowering and open-hearted and curious mindset instead of the one that kind of moves towards protecting ourselves and gets focused on what's wrong instead of what we can do to get better. Now, the 3 steps to practicing targeted thinking are, number 1, clarify your desired outcome. What does success look like for me? An example of this is if you're considering coaching, just define what a win would be. Get really clear on your goals. Maybe it's that better work-life balance. Maybe it's that exercise program. Maybe it is that meditation or that writing a book. Get really clear on what success would look like for you. The second thing is we want to focus on baby steps. We want to break down that project and reverse engineer it and see it in small, actionable steps. An example of this would be like scheduling an exploratory coaching session with somebody, or maybe journaling about it for 10, 15 minutes every day. Find out what your biggest challenges are for that project or for that goal, and really unpack it and get some help. Get some help from yourself with journaling, or ask for help out there. And of course, there's so many coaches that are great. There's a lot of people that aren't so great. But if you can reach out to a friend or a coach or connect with me, I think breaking it down into small, actionable steps is a skill. And sometimes it's hard to see when you're in the middle of it, when you're trying to reverse engineer it. And the third thing that I'd like to point out is just to celebrate your progress. Now, this is a tough thing for a lot of leaders and a lot of people that are driven. We get really focused on outcomes, but I think it's important to reflect on those small wins along the way. Now, this is something that we've talked about and we really emphasize in the Heroic coaching program that I've been through. And as a Heroic performance coach, celebration is one of our fundamentals. An example of this is after your first session or that introductory session, notice how you feel right after the session. Are you empowered and clear, or are you kind of still muddy and struggling? If you have one moment of clarity or one action or one kind of inspiration or one insight, that's great. That is right where you want to be. So again, when we practice targeted thinking, we really want to radically accept our reality, where we're at. Let's not aim for the moon. We want to set our target, aim, and take action. We want to clarify that desired outcome. We want to focus on baby steps, and we really want to celebrate our progress. I think a good thing here is just to take some time for yourself. Guide yourself through a quick targeted thinking exercise of clarifying, of focusing on baby steps, and celebrating. And maybe just asking yourself, if coaching works for me, how would I feel 6 months from now? What might it feel like if I accomplish that one singular goal or project? And listen, I'm always here to give you a pep talk. I'm always here to listen and help you get back up and get going. But I'm not a cheerleader. And I know that you can create that life you dream about. I know targeted thinking is a really valuable tool in that moment-to-moment day and that thing that you might be hesitating on. Coaching supports targeted thinking. It is a partnership in helping you have better outcomes and go towards those goals. It's about accountability. It really is helping you stay on track with your goals. And it's about shifting to that empowerment action, that empowerment dynamic. It helps you sustain that momentum by using targeted thinking, aligning your mindset with your actions. Now, targeted thinking in my life was very powerful. So when I was in product ownership, it was a struggle some days to look at the backlog and to kind of disseminate what was the most important piece of the software that we needed to improve, or what technical debt we needed to fix this week or this sprint. But targeted thinking really helped me radically accept what was going on, set a target, take that aim, and get the power of the group, the power of the developers behind me, and then just take action and then learn. We want to iterate with targeted thinking every day. So the more you can plug into targeted thinking, the better you're going to feel at the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of your own personal sprint. I really appreciate you tuning in and taking the time to listen to this podcast today. I would love to offer you a free exploratory call. I would take 30 minutes and give you a low-risk way to explore coaching. Now, at this point in time, I do have a couple spots open for the first quarter of this year, but I'll put my application in the show notes. So take a look at that. Apply if you feel inspired, if you really feel like you could use some focus on a one-on-one basis. And I just want to give you encouragement, addressing just that one small area of your life, your career, your relationships, maybe your health, and use this targeted thinking exercise as a framework to really go forward and hit that goal and to take aim. But I know coaching can support you, and I know you can achieve it. So doubt is normal. It really is. I have doubt in my projects, even in creating podcasts and writing. But one place I don't have doubt is I know that coaching works. I know it opens doors in our mind. It gives us opportunities to accomplish what we don't think is possible at first. I really want to invite you to book this free session, to apply and reach out to me. I know we can attack those doubts and really go towards your goals. So to kind of end on this challenge, or end with a challenge for you, listener, what is one outcome you'd love to create? And what is one step you can take today to move closer towards it? Thank you very much for spending your valuable time with me and listening. I hope you have a great day or an evening wherever you're at. And please reach out. Apply with me to take a look at what coaching might look like for you. It's a no cost. It's free. And I know that if you kind of are ready and primed to move towards your goals, coaching is a really powerful way to help you achieve career goals, but also get better in your relationships and really just build up this beautiful ecosystem of your life and feel that sense of thriving and prospering, which is so possible. So thanks again for listening. I hope you have a great day, great evening, and I look forward to meeting up with you on the next podcast. Thank you very much. Take care now. Bye.